All right, welcome to this weekend / full moon sidereal forecast for August 28th through the 30th. My name is Athen. So a full moon in Aquarius, which is going to be conjoining up to Neptune this weekend on Saturday, is going to be a highlight of the weekend and this full moon energy. So we're at the culmination point now of a lot of the new beginnings that came into our life around 2 weeks ago, relating generally for each of us to our unique spark, our unique voice, our unique self-expression. And so now all of that Leo energy meets other. That spark meets the collective. It meets the group. It meets those ideals larger than self. And that's what Aquarius symbolizes, is tapping into that unique spark and sharing ourselves, sharing that gift with the world. Now, it's conjoining Neptune, so it is a very spiritual full moon. It's very internalized. Neptune is retrograde at the moment as well. So going within, trusting your inner guidance, connecting to God, because there's a lot of uncertainty going on in the world. This is all Aquarius because it's the big picture, it's society, it's our view. And if it's not the world for you personally, it might be the bigger picture of your life or whatever ideals you might have personally in your life for the future. There's uncertainty about it. There's nebulous around that if we try to figure it out too much on that analytical level. So with Neptune, the key is to connect to God and to connect to all that is. And through that, through that energy larger than self, we can surrender. We can have that faith. We naturally have that trust and know that everything is unfolding in exactly the way it is meant to unfold with that divine timing or whatever you want to call it. So that's what this full moon symbolizes. And again, it might be collectively in terms of our personal perspective. It might be with our own unique visions and ideals for the future. But it's very important here with this that if you are feeling any type of uncertainty or confusion, it might be because you're trying to figure it out too much analytically. And the energies here are showing us to have more faith, trust, and through that, naturally, it will find our way. We'll find that tide, that flow of the energy, which is Neptune. So at least that's what Neptune symbolizes. So that energy is going to be opposing up to Jupiter. So it's very important during this time, too, to not go to any extremes with our philosophies, to not go to any extremes with our outlook and our positive outlook on life, because they're in opposition. On one hand, we're very optimistic. We have our future figured out. We have this, this vision of it. But then on the other extreme, there is that uncertainty or just knowing that it is larger than self. So it's important here to balance that. And if it is your personal philosophy, not going to any extremes where it becomes so ungrounded that it's no longer practical anymore. Philosophy has to be applied, has to be practical. That's going to be seen by Saturn squaring up to this position as well. It's very important we stay grounded through all of this. Remember your long-term goals, your long-term plans. And although everything's not going to be exactly how we plan, obviously, there is this element of patience that is needed and effort and work in terms of our own self-assertion, our own, free will in the matter. So that is always playing in the background. Now, Saturn square isn't exact, but it is going to be there. And I feel like, especially when it comes to these visions, staying nice and grounded will be very important. Now, this full moon does sextile up to Pluto. So being open to change, I think we naturally will be and have been, which is great. And I think we can find that very supportive, especially when it's about changing our philosophy, our outlook on life. And naturally, when we're open to changing our life path, things will become much more harmonious and will support a lot of this energy right now at the moment. So that's the high point. That's also the high point of the weekend because as you can see in the transit graph, we have no major aspects going on here over the weekend other than Mercury conjoining up to the North Node on Friday. So Friday is a lot like Thursday. It's a very grounded energy. The moon's going to be in Capricorn. This conjunction is happening in Virgo. So busy, taking care of things, the practical self-improvement, day-to-day energies, I think will be a good way of working with Friday. And we can learn a lot about our life path in regards to that. That's what Mercury conjoining the North Node signifies, especially about our own personal crafts, our own work, our service work, our contribution, and channeling that spiritual energy into what we're involved with on a daily basis is a great way of working with this. One thing too, the moon is going to be opposing up to Venus, so do bring extra attention to the relationships or financial stuff on Friday. I think might be important, and I think there can be some excitement actually and some new things, changing up that routine here on Friday also. So Saturday we do have that full moon. It's going to be at 14:35 Eastern time. And these are the aspects that are involved with that. No other major aspects going on in the sky. And then on Sunday, we do have the moon conjoining up to Chiron, who has been very close to both constellations of Aquarius and Pisces. So we have been healing old wounds relating to our role in the collective, our role in our contribution to the world and society. And so if we have any inhibitions come up on Sunday in regards to that, confronting them and seeing them and being open to them. And naturally, when we have that acceptance and nurturing, which is the moon energy, to those insecurities, that healing process takes place. So I think being open to that, seeing where we do feel doubtful, where we do have insecurities about that role, also with our connection to God or all that is, and through that reestablishing that connection, it can be tremendously healing. But it does take that openness to see those wounds, those insecurities, those fears in those areas in order to do that healing. But that's a really good way of working with Sunday in particular. But as a general energy, the highlight is certainly going to be that full moon here on Saturday, which is all about Aquarius, culmination point too of a lot of this unique spark, giving, contributing, trust, faith, going with the flow, staying grounded, but still seeing the positive outlook, but how we can really keep it practical, keep it real, and continuously expand that unique intuition that we each have individually, and seeing how our unique spark is very important to these major shifts and changes which are happening in the world today. So have a fantastic weekend. Thank you again for all of your support. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I'll talk to you all on Monday. Take care.